Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pleb Underground. Happy Friday, happy day after Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's right. Today's Black Friday, and if you have the misfortune of getting stuck going out to the malls, I'm sorry, and good luck with all of that. Good luck with all that. I am definitely not going to be doing that because instead we're taking a look at some solid news, guys. You know, even though it was Thanksgiving yesterday, a whole bunch of stuff happened. And of course, we got to dive into all of it. So, is it different this time? Like, people feeling that it was kind of interesting that we pumped into Thanksgiving? I was kind of happy to see that. I'm sure a lot of other Bitcoiners were happy to see that. Is it different? Anyways, we're going to take a look at a chart from, take a look at a couple of charts, but one from Charlie Bilello, right, TradFi guy. We're going to talk about the Fed rate cut, new Fed rate chair. And are we actually looking at a 5-year super cycle? And of course, the JP Morgan news, right? Obviously, the JP Morgan stuff. Okay. Eternal Paper Bitcoin Summer. We've got some updates there. We've got some new updates for what is happening in terms of Bitcoin adoption. And have you guys seen the weird Carl Schwab video about this Schwab Academy? That is creepy as hell. We are going to take a look at that. And Keonne Rodriguez, the Samourai dev, one of the Samourai devs that was arrested and recently convicted, did a space a couple of days ago. I believe it was Wednesday night. Could have been Tuesday. Anyways, I got a link to that in the show notes for you guys, but we're going to take a quick listen to it because there is a lot of really interesting information and we are going to cover all of that stuff. Guys, stick with us. You know the deal. I'm going to give a shout out to the Pleb Underground sponsor, and we're going to be right back to dive into all the fun and stories. Let's frickin' go. Pleb Underground is sponsored by Archimedes Emporium. Discover the pinnacle of precision engineering, starting with their Bitcoin logo wall clock, meticulously machined in Maine from a solid block of aerospace-grade aluminum, ensuring unparalleled durability and performance. Experience the difference of a product made without compromise. Head on over to Archimedes Emporium. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's dive right into it. So here's the post from Charlie Bilello. It's a good TradFi account to follow. I find his takes are pretty objective in my opinion. Anyways, gold plus 55% is the best performing major asset in 2025. Boo. While Bitcoin minus 9% is now the worst. Something we haven't seen before in any calendar year. That's right, guys. This time it's different. Okay. This time it's different. And here it is. Here's the Bitcoin calendar year all the way at the bottom there in blue. Look at that. Minus 9.9. So first of all, the 4-year cycle. I mean, I've said it multiple times, right? It's more of a human psychology cycle. Is it broken? Is that what's actually happening? Well, let's go take a look at another little piece of hopium here. Jesse Olson. 2 days before Bitcoin topped, I warned that the price has never peaked beyond 550 days post-halving. Today is 581. 5-year super cycle, boys. That's right. Look at that. And this is us over here, all the way at the bottom here. This the one that's colored, colored black here, 2024. I don't know, guys. Maybe this time it's different. Maybe we're gonna get a super cycle. I don't know. Anyways, it's just fun. It's just fun to ponder on all this stuff, right? I just enjoy it. Anyways, why not? Right? We got to enjoy the hopium. Got to enjoy the hopium. Okay, more hopium, guys. Deutsche Bank expects the Fed to cut rates by 25 basis points in December. Maybe that's why we ran up into Thanksgiving. Meh, I don't know. Another piece of news that's going around, but is actually old, but is kind of making it seem like it's relevant. Or anyways, the Fed injects 125 billion into the banking system. You guys might have started seeing that like yesterday or something, but you can see that this is already from 2.5 weeks ago. So And 125 billion, like the debt's $39 trillion. I don't know. I mean, it's nice, right? Like, it's like, okay, fine. They're injecting dollars. Great. 125 billion into the banking system. But like, I got to tell you, I feel like that's a drop in the bucket. No, that not a drop in the bucket. I don't know. I think it is. You guys think? I'll see what the comments say. You guys think it's a drop in the bucket? Yeah, I agree. Cutting the interest rates. I mean, dude, they have absolutely no tools left, right? Like, this is pretty much it. It's this patient that they stitch up, right? And that they bleed out constantly. Like, that's essentially what the economy is. It's this patient that gets stitched up and bled out over and over again. Ugh, yeah, I know, bad analogy, but I think it's a little bit more realistic than some of the other colorful analogies that we get. Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, this is exactly what, and they know that they can't do it. Right. So if they do it for a short term, they do it for a small amount of time to cause enough pain to be able to cause, some type of a reset. It's the same nonsense, right? It's the same nonsense. And if you read anything about the previous empires, it is the playbook. The only difference is we did not have Bitcoin. There was no exit valve. There were no stable coins. So in a way, this time it is different. However, it's the same human behavior. So I don't know. Anyways, let's continue. Let's continue, guys. We've got more stuff, all kinds of recycled stuff. Okay. Hey, new Fed chair coming in, right? Supposedly this guy is going to be the dude, right? It's going to be the dude. Former Coinbase advisor Kevin Hassett emerges as favorite to become the next Fed chair. Of course he is. Of course he is. He's going to help everybody play with their Bitcoins, right? That's what he's going to do. He's going to be good at it. And of course, right, we're all cheering for this. Why not? Why not? Hey, accelerate, okay? Just accelerate. Rip the Band-Aid off. Let's get all of these institutions exposed to all of this crap so that we can watch it all fall apart. Except for Bitcoin, of course. But that's what's going to be funny, right? Because Bitcoin's going to get blamed for a lot of the wheels falling off, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. So we all saw the JP Morgan stuff, right? It's been overplayed, I'd say. JP Morgan's Bitcoin structured notes offer potential massive returns, and of course, immediately there were some MicroStrategy proponents that came out that were talking about how JP Morgan has been attacking MicroStrategy and started dumping their shares and all kinds of stories. Guys, this is markets. Okay, this is what people are going to do. This is what participants are going to do in the market. Like, you can't have it both ways, right? It's either this happens in both instances where there are people propping assets up and there are also people pushing assets down. I know it sounds crazy, but that's really what's happening. So if there's a conspiracy of pushing MicroStrategy shares down, then guess what, guys? There's a conspiracy of a bunch of people pumping MicroStrategy shares up. Sorry. It's just the way it is, right? There's people betting for and there's people betting against. And if you thought for a second that JP Morgan wasn't going to make a product like this, you're out of your freaking mind. Of course they're going to try to cannibalize each other. Why wouldn't they? Anyways, yeah, it's just so funny. And the other piece of it, which is hilarious, is that I've watched so many Bitcoiners shit on JP Morgan for years. And all of a sudden, right, they go do this and, hey, look, now he's good for Bitcoin. The hypocrisy is astounding in humanity. And I'm including myself in that. I'm not discluding myself in any of that. I'm a human too. I know it's tough to believe. We're all hypocrites. That's just part of being a human. Yeah, I know it's not fun. The truth is not fun. JP Morgan Chase has filed with regulators for a leveraged product that would allow investors to bet on the future price of Bitcoin and potentially earn uncapped returns if the price of BTC falls by late next year, but then soars by 2028. Okay, so this financial instrument, though, has some quirks. According to the prospectus, if the price of Bitcoin ETF is equal to or above the set price by December 21st, 2026, then JP Morgan will call the notes, providing a payment of at least $160 per note, priced at $1,000 a piece. But if the price is below that mark in a year's time, then the notes will keep riding up until 2028. Okay, so it can be good for you. It's mostly good for JP Morgan. Yeah, if you think anybody's creating any of these financial products to enrich you, you know what? I've got some yield to sell you. Okay, I got some yield to sell you. In that case, if the product is approved by the SEC, of course, investors would be able to earn 1.5x returns on whatever gains the cryptocurrency makes by the year 2028, potentially clearing the way for massive rewards. JP Morgan called the potential return uncapped, but you could earn 1.5x returns. Yeah, so it's okay. So the dollar amount is uncapped. Anyways, which means if Bitcoin soars to the new highs by 2028, which means the ETF share price would follow suit, then the amplified gains could be sizable indeed. It's just another financial product. And of course, this is part of the this is just part of hyper Bitcoinization. This is part of the journey. Exactly, Frederic. You are the yield. That's exactly the point. It's brutal. It's brutal stuff. It's absolutely brutal stuff. Okay. Give me a second, guys. I have so much stuff that I have to upload a whole bunch of new files. Okay. Anyways, so let's dive into the fail. You guys, you might remember this guy, right? Klaus Schwab kind of looks like a mix of this guy, right? And this guy. Yeah, I'd say he looks kind of like a mix of both of those, right? That's for the people who don't know, that's Ming the Merciless from Flash Gordon, which was obviously a it's like a cult classic, but it's it's a horribly made movie with terrible acting, which is totally entertaining. So yeah, this guy that literally, like, I mean, he looks like the archetypical villain. So you could imagine my surprise when I saw this video pop up.
Welcome to the Schwab Academy. The mission of the Schwab.
Is he trying to do like a Professor X type of thing, but like creepier and dystopian and evil?
Academy is to prepare people
to eat the bugs. It's to prepare people to eat the bugs.
The tremendous changes which will be caused by the transformation from the industrial to the intelligent age. The intelligent age is based on a combination of many life-changing technologies. Of course, artificial intelligence, but there is also quantum computing and many other technologies which will have a tremendous impact on how we live, how we communicate, and we have to prepare for those changes now. I started first with the book Thriving and Leading in the Intelligent Age to provide a kind of introduction, and now I'm looking at specific areas where I can help people to understand what's coming up and to prepare for it.
Come stay in my creepy cabin so I could indoctrinate you into living a lower quality, lower energy life. Now, I think that, right, like we just watched 53 seconds of him just lying to people. Eddie Murphy did it in about 4 seconds back in the 80s.
I went to Fresh Air Fund. Never go to that? Where they take a kid like from the city and send him to the country and fuck his mind up and shit.
Yep. Eddie Murphy. Hit it right away, man. Right back in the 80s. Take him out there and fuck up his mind. And that's exactly what Klaus Schwab is trying to do. He's just going to take you out there and he's going to screw up your mind. Anyways, yeah, that guy's down bad. That guy's pretty much down bad. Which is of no surprise. No surprise at all in any way. So, Eternal Paper Bitcoin Summer. It actually hasn't ended. Capital B has acquired 5 BTC, right? Look at that. Look at that. And they're achieving a BTC yield of, what is that? 0.4 million euro. Okay, so 88,000 euro per Bitcoin and BTC yield of 1,658%. But you have no real earnings. Can you really afford to hold that Bitcoin without creating more debt? Can you? Can you? I'm not really sure. We'll see, though, right? We're going to end up seeing. We're going to find out what's real and what isn't. We're going to end up seeing which one of these, which of these businesses can flourish and which ones will flounder. Metaplanet raised 130 million using Bitcoin as collateral to buy more BTC. Nothing stops this train. Yep. Nothing stops the incurring more debt to buy more Bitcoin because we think market conditions are going to stay perfect forever. That's good times. Yeah, that's good times. And more, right? Orange BTC. Proud to present for the first time the Orange BTC Proof of Reserves system directly on our official website. And I got to say something about this piece that, you know what? Regardless of how much I criticize these businesses for not having operating cash flows and revenues and all that good stuff, Orange BTC, at the very least, right, is doing the proof of reserves. I went to their website. You can actually see they've got links to mempool.space, and they can actually show you that they've got links to all of their addresses. So you know what? You got to give them credit when credit is due. At the very least, they are attempting to do that. I just want to start to see some of these businesses actually create revenue. Like, it's fine and dandy that you can borrow money because people are excited about Bitcoin. But unfortunately, as we know, because we've had history, there are many times where Bitcoin isn't the coolest thing. Okay. And the market ends up getting really down on Bitcoin and anything that is related to Bitcoin. And we imagine that these businesses would stick around. We imagine that these businesses would be able to weather the storm. And I believe that, yeah, they can if they have operating revenue. Anyways. I'm sorry, I just went to the live chat and I got totally confused. Anyways, yeah, let's keep going here. Okay, so let's take a look at some solid adoption. Right? We've got some solid adoption. Don't mess with Texas. That's right. Texas becomes the first state to purchase 10 million of BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF. Yeah, I know. I don't, whatever. ETF shares. I get it. I know. That's could be better. It could be buying Bitcoin. Baby steps. I'll take it. I'll take this begrudgingly. So, Texas Blockchain Council President Lee Bratcher later confirmed the move, noting the Treasury teams had monitored market conditions closely and executed the purchase on November 20th, when Bitcoin briefly dipped to 87K. It's pretty amazing that the state of Texas is better at buying Bitcoin than Michael Saylor is. I know. Yeah, nobody likes that one. Oh, no, you're insulting our Hopium dealer. Yeah, well, state of Texas bought the dip. Pretty good stuff. Now, so look. Obviously, it's shares, right? It's shares. We get it. However, the Bitcoin ETFs are mandated to purchase actual Bitcoin. And as we've shown multiple times on this channel, the authorized participants do have the option of taking in-kind redemption. So I do consider it a small adoption win for the corn. I think so. All right. Samourai. Not pleased at what has happened with Samourai. As we know, guys, founder of Samourai Wallet, mixing service, sentenced to 5 and 4 years in prison. Right? We were showing that already last week. But Keonne came on a space on Twitter and detailed his whole experience and why it's showing the wrong JPEG. Link is in the show notes, guys. I'm going to play a very small portion of this so that you can get an idea if it interests you. I mean, it definitely interests me. I wanted to know the entire process that he went through his own words and the way that he perceived it. So yeah, obviously I can't play the whole thing. It's 2 hours long, but I'll play like a nice little snippet of it so you can get an idea and maybe you guys decide to go check it out. I think it's very important. So let's see.
And eventually indicted us because of these features, specifically Whirlpool. So that's kind of the lead up to everything.
Yeah. So before the raid, did you have any indication that something might be happening? Did they reach out in any kind of way at some point, or yeah, I guess go into kind of the raid and how all of that came about.
Sure. Yeah. No, it was a complete surprise. We're not dumb. We knew that we were doing something that governments were likely not to like. And we expected at some point to be contacted by a government agency saying, hey, we don't like what you're doing. And we hired lawyers for that reason. And we had received government correspondence in the past saying, hey, give us information about so and so, which we would then send to our lawyer, and then the lawyer would send to them, say, hey, we can't give you that information, we don't have it. It's non-custodial, and it's not
Okay. I'm just going to play that because obviously it could just, I'm listening to it again and I'm like, you know what? Let's just keep listening to this. This is pretty good. But look, guys, it is absolutely frightening, the account that Keonne details. And even worse, okay, is his explanation. The explanation isn't worse, but his experience with the judge, right? This judge that is just absolutely known for being incredibly harsh, specifically on money launderers and stuff like that. Like, these guys, this is crazy. Like, this was absolutely nuts. They didn't even hear him out. Nothing. They prepared a whole, they prepared a whole case for themselves, right? In order to rebuke these charges. And it was shut down. It is so worth a listen and absolutely eye-opening. The other piece of it is this, okay? To the people that believe that the state is this highly sophisticated, incredibly intelligent panopticon, you got to listen to what Keonne says about, because obviously, right, he was paying attention to the tech that they're using while he was in the offices. And let's just say, and this kind of goes back to what I've said in the past, is that, it's not Schrodinger's government, right? The government, it's not like this super highly sophisticated, intelligent thing, but also at the same time, this like incredibly idiotic machine on the other side that can't govern the people. It's not like that, right? It's all it is a perception game. The government just simply needs the average person to perceive their sophistication and their power. But in the background, it's a fucking Rube Goldberg machine. Yeah, Rourke, exactly. It was a show trial. It set a precedent, and that is exactly what Keonne explained. I'm probably not even pronouncing his name right, but that is exactly what he explained, is that everything that they did was a show of force to create panic and fear. So anyways, yeah, that was crazy stuff. I hope you guys check it out. It's a good listen. It's a good listen. If you're just doing some chores or something like that, solid listen. Anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Pleb Underground. Yeah, they can appeal. But he already accepted, and he is going to be going to jail. That's also in the recording. He explains that he has to report to the judge if he doesn't hear back from the prison system. He has to report back to the judge by December 19th. So again, right, they're gonna stick him in jail right before Christmas. It's anyways, it is just absolutely nuts. So I hope you guys have it is total lame sauce, man. It's disgusting. Anyways. We just don't take personal freedom seriously enough. We don't take personal freedom seriously enough, and the more encroachment that the state can do, it absolutely will. It always does. The goal of any government is to continue to grow its presence. It's that simple. Very, very. I can't even think back to any time that wasn't the situation, right? Because why wouldn't you want to increase your power? Why wouldn't you want to increase your control? Why wouldn't you want to be the final empire, right? Where the clock stops ticking with you, right? It's all ego. It's all ego. It's all nonsense. This is why we don't have nice things, guys. Anyways, have a great weekend. Don't worry. This time it's different. 5-year super cycle. Let's freaking go. At least that's what I'm telling myself. That's right, guys. The signal without the slop. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your time with your family. For the people that are doing the holidays, right? For the people doing Thanksgiving, getting all that good stuff going. And I will see you guys on Monday with more news. Take it easy.